The real reason meteorologists hang on to that notion that moisture is steam in our atmosphere, it's partly because without it they don't really have another explanation. But there's actually a more deeper understanding that has to do with just common sense, and that is just simply the observation that there is moisture in the atmosphere, and the fact that it doesn't just simply fall out. Now let me explain now. The reason, it's well known that the reason H2O has the high boiling point it has is because of its polarity. Now, if its polarity is so strong after it gets released in the atmosphere that it would come together and stop being steam, then the common sense is that it would continue to do that. In other words, if you have a molecule that has high polarity, if 10 of them get together and form a little droplet, they should have 10 times the polarity, shouldn't they? And if that's the case, then they would continue to do that. They would get stronger and stronger, just like galaxies just like galaxies, that the larger ones would tend to swallow the littler ones, and they would just tend to keep on going. And since we can see that there is water in the atmosphere, we know that that isn't the case. And so that's the rationale. Since there is water in the atmosphere, there must be some cause that's keeping the little water molecules apart, and that the polarity does not have the ability to overcome that distance. And most likely the thing that I think most people envision is just simply that there's enough air molecules in there that once steam is created, once monomolecular H2O is created, it creates enough distance that it overcomes the polarity of the H2O molecule, and that explains why there is steam in our atmosphere. And that's really important, because without that, then the convection model completely breaks down. And if the convection model breaks down, then we don't really have any way of explaining how water gets so high in our atmosphere. And we also don't have any way of explaining the energy of storms. Well, I'm saying that's wrong. I'm saying that this notion that water will get together and be cumulative, have cumulative strength, is mistaken. And I'm also saying that there is another way to explain how moisture gets up high in the atmosphere. And I'm saying there's another way of explaining where the energy of storms comes from, and it all has to do with plasma.